So I want to talk to you today about something called a happy accident. So I have a client in the accounting industry doing well, six figures a month, and I run his Google ads, his Facebook ads, his cold email, and recently his Facebook account got banned. So I've been really hesitant to start running that campaign again, even though we were able to get the account back up. Actually, we had to start a new account. That's a whole other story of how we pulled that off. More complex than you think. But in the meantime, I suggested we started exploring YouTube ads, and he agreed, which to his credit, he usually will take my advice if it makes sense. Because of the progress he's made so far, he's really happy with my work. And so we run the YouTube ads. Problem is, I'm not seeing anything come through in the tracking. So I'm getting concerned. I'm like, oh man, I burned his Facebook ad account and now we're testing this YouTube thing. It's costing money. I don't see any leads coming through. But then, I'm getting nervous. I haven't spoken to him in a few days, but then he calls me or he emails and he tells me, hey, whatever you're doing with those YouTube ads, it's working great. I'm like, really? How? And he's like, listen, it's 1,000% you. I don't know what you did, but it's working. I said, okay, great. So I'm asking him, okay, well, what are you seeing? He's like, people are calling me. People are telling me their brother told them about me. I'm like, okay, so clearly something's working. And since my expertise is tracking, I figure I gotta go figure out what's going on, what's with the tracking, because clearly the leads are coming through. So I go and look, and lo and behold, there is a problem with the tracking. But long story short, there's not much I can do about it because YouTube ads are kind of like, I guess, restricted by the YouTube app. And that tracking opens up in its own YouTube browser. It doesn't go straight to the person's website, right? So if that tracking is not available for the tool I use, or really any tool called CallRail, to load its DNI script, which is dynamic number insertion, it puts its own custom phone number in there for the call tracking. So I can't see the calls come through. But he's telling me, don't worry, they're coming through. I said, great. So now I'm like, well, do you still want to try the Facebook ads? Or are these doing so well that it's not even worth the try? He said, let's see. I don't know. What do you think? And I'm like, you know what? Let me just catch up with you next week. We can see how they run for a week. If everything goes well, let's stick with this. There's no point, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Meanwhile, I'm going into his YouTube ad settings and I noticed there's a lot of spinning. The first problem I saw with his YouTube ad was there was a lot of spinning in the shorts. And because I didn't know my tracking was broken, I turned the shorts off. So I still have the shorts off, which I guess is okay because he told me doing is working, right? But I turned the shorts off before he told me that. I won't change anything back to how it was unless he tells me things have gone bad. But my assumption at the time was shorts didn't work. The other thing is I had a certain type of audience that he selected for him. And so I also optimized that audience, right? I thought my assumption was the targeting was too generic. It was targeting. It was like a whole industry when really that was not necessarily enough. That was not necessarily targeted enough towards exactly who he needed to be in front of. And I learned from a previous client that honestly, even if you're not the best, and this client was very highly rated, but I just noticed how much more lift they got when I orchestrated his account and his targeting to put him in front of the right people at the right time with the right needs. So I'm trying to do that again. Apparently it's working with this client. That previous client was in the fencing industry, but yeah, I'm hoping this works out. But yeah, this was completely accidental. If Facebook would have never gone down, it's a high chance we probably would have never tried the YouTube ads because we just didn't know what we were missing, right? And it would have been a risk then without unknown upside. But he doesn't even actually have that much spending on that, the YouTube ads. I think he's spending on the YouTube ads like maybe half of what he was spending on with the Facebook ads. So it's like, okay, this is great. If it's that noticeable to you this quickly, and I don't even have the tracking set up, then that means this thing has a lot of potential to take off if we simply double the budget. And in fact, what was concerning me along with that was I recently saw a slowdown in his main ads campaign, which is Google search. So what's going on, man? So I went back and looked into the data.
I saw he had new competitors, right? So I reported this to him. Listen, you got some big competitors here and they got big pockets. It's like, when I broke it down to what I saw, he wasn't very concerned. He's like, they're not really a real competitor for the services I offer. So, like maybe spending money on ads, but I'm still the best option. I'm like, okay, great. That's good to know. I'm glad you're not concerned, but I still see a slowdown in the leads that he was getting in that campaign. So the big issue I have now is I'm flying blind in terms of the volume of his leads and the cost of them. So I basically have to go by his word that, hey, things are great. Don't change nothing. So this is a new position for me, being a big analytics guy, which is kind of how I do into ads. But, again, it's one of those happy accidents. At least now I know this is one of those offers I can present to a client or a prospect and say, look, I've had success here before. Here's the type of targeting I can do for you. Only thing I don't know at this point is the exact, numbers I can get for them. But what I can tell them is probably going to be better for you baseline than what your Google and Facebook ads expectations would be. At least for this client, it's been that way. I don't think that I can say that it's going to be typical for everybody, but I can say it's worth exploring, right? The big challenge I'm going to have now, and a potential solution I suggested for him, was the real fast way to fix this issue of tracking is we simply make a dedicated landing page only for Google ads and, block it from organic search, and we don't link it to the rest of the site. And that way we'll know. Also, we put the DNI number from CallRail directly on the page, so no swapping. That way, at least we'll have an idea of what the numbers are at a minimum, even if we miss some. But yeah, very interesting that most of these leads have been calls. At least, I think actually all of these have been calls. And so, like, no form submissions. And yeah, that's the happy accident I've seen recently. And hopefully this will give you guys some ideas of new campaigns to try. For me, I ran these ads for YouTube using AI videos because basically all I had for this client was like one picture of him. So that was my way of getting around a creative limitation. And maybe it's something you guys can also try for yourself. All right, take care and good luck.